I started this guide life video off, I'm gonna say that was about 4:30 this morning when I was at the gas station. Well, long story short, I came the long way around to the lake, got the stuff on the boat, got all dialed in and ready, and my client stood me up and had this guy booked for 2 days, which is unfortunate. You know, I'm disappointed, but more than anything, I hope he's okay. I am here at the lake. There was one or two other boats on the water, so got the whole place to myself. So this is a good time to do a little fishing on my own, do a little experimenting. And here's what I'm going to play with first. I'm going to be running my hybrid lead core rig, but I am going to try this prototype plastic right here. I'm running it on my standard, Tricks rig, 8 to 10 pound test leader, action disc, bobber stop, bead, and my soft bait. Now this pink one has been working very, very well. So I'm going to take that one off and I am going to try this new awesome looking pink and glitter model. There is a problem with this bait though, and I'll show you what it is. See how much movement my bait has a lot of movement, and that plastic is very soft and it's very stretchy. This new bait, it looks fantastic, has a lot of glitter, it looks good, but it's stiff. It just doesn't have the movement, and the plastic is I don't know if it shows in the camera, but the plastic is a little harder. So this is the kind of work that goes into perfecting baits. It takes field time, it takes trial and error, but we're going to try this bait. It doesn't have as fluid of an action as my minnow, but this is actually the second generation. The first generation were really, really stiff. So we are absolutely making progress, but I don't think it's there yet. But the final arbiter of what is good and what is not are the fish. So I'm going to thread this on here just like I would my standard tried and true Trout Tricks minnows. Just running that bait way down the hook because we had big weather the last couple days, and I'm thinking they might be a little tentative. That's what I'm thinking. So run this down and around, get it on here nice and straight, or as straight as possible. Something like that. That's not bad right there. Run that disc about a 1/4 inch. That's a little too much. Run that disc about a 1/4 inch off the nose of that bait. Target speed 2 miles an hour. So that's going to be rig number 1. I'm running that off my hybrid lead core rig, probably 2 colors, so 8 to 10 feet down at that speed. So we're going to give that a chance to work. Of course, I'm going to douse that with my trigger scent, give it a good smell, make it extra attractive to the fish. Let's talk a little bit about the conditions before I show you the other rig. Like I said, big storm yesterday. Lots of wind, lots of rain, hail, temp drop, the whole deal. In fact, they had tornado warnings up here. At my house, I had that hail/ice storm. So bottom line is the weather situation is very, very challenging. Now let me check the temp. Temp right now, 51.5 degrees at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's calm right now, and that's probably good. We got the sun on the water, so that temperature is going to start to spike up. Fairly light wind in the forecast today, so we're going to put in a couple hours out here. So bait number 1 is that prototype plastic. I'll be right back at you in a second with bait number 2. Here is rig number 2. This is also a hybrid lead core rig, but on this rig, I'm running something that gives me a very high probability of success. So this is going to be my benchmark. Whenever you're testing baits, you need to have a bait in the water that is tried, true, and proven. That way you're going to know if the fish are biting. If you're not catching fish, the question is going to be in your mind, am I not catching fish because I'm running a prototype bait, or are the fish, just not biting? So what I'm going to run on this one, this is my benchmark rod. Let me show you here. Slow death hook. You pull a little line. you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you can pretty much predict what's on here. I've got a slow death hook, about 16 inches of 10-pound test fluorocarbon leader, and I have an orange turbo flasher. That's going to put out vibration, it's going to put out sound, it's going to put out color, and that rudder is going to put out some flash, and that's going to help, you know, draw fish in. And on this slow death hook, I have an absolutely beautiful Big Red Worm Bait Company night crawler on there. Look how fat and beautiful that worm is. I've ripped the worm in half, put the threader in through the break, out through the tip. Remember, don't leave any worm wiggling behind the hook. Don't want to give those fish anything to grab at that doesn't have a hook in it. So insert this in the threader like so. Put a little tension on it like that. Right over the top, slide it down, put it on. Perfectly threaded night crawler. First thing they're going to get when they come nipping is the hook. This rig has a high probability of success, so we'll get it in the water. I'm going to run both rigs at 10 feet deep. I'm going to run at 2 miles an hour. I'm going to vary it from 1.8 to about 2.2, and fingers crossed, we're going to get a trout on, maybe several trout on. Oh man, I got a big fish here instantly on that prototype. That's a good fish. That's a good fish. Oh my. Man, that fish hit like a ton of bricks. Is it a big fish? I don't know. I'm going to move this camera though over here. Like so. Man, that fish hit hard. Doesn't feel that big now, but I'm going to go with the assumption that he's really big. He hit like a ton of bricks. Ooh, he's dogging now. Oh, nah, he's not that big. Man, he hit hard. Well, I guess that prototype's working today. It always blows me away how sensitive my lead core rods are. They feel, you know, they feel like they're fairly burly when you're just messing around with them. But when you get a fish on there, man, they fold right over. Come here, you. Oh, now he's over that other line. Well, that's okay. We can handle that. He's in the passing lane over here. Oh, now he's trying to come over here. That's why we have multiple rod holders on the boat. For sure. Let's see here. Oh, nice fish. Nice fish. Oh, don't swim into the motor. That would be a bad idea. Let's get there we go. Woo! Oh my. Okay, so that prototype minnow is absolutely working. Let me get this guy back in the water. Nice fish. There he goes. Gotta love this cool water. Makes releasing the fish real easy. Right there. He smashed that bait. And like I said, I'm gonna say that was down about 8 feet. So let's get reset, get this back in the water, see if we can get another. So I'm gonna slide it out. And I'm going to tease this fish a little bit. There you go. There, fish on, just like that. Bam. That is one of the benefits right there to using lead core. Now, that doesn't feel like a very large fish, but that fish was playing around with that worm. I teased him a little bit, hook up right away, straight away, on the turbo flasher and crawler. Now hopefully he's not hooked too deep because I'm not keeping fish today. I'm looking to let him go. Little guy. Nice pant-sized trout though. Lift him up here. Right there. Just like that. Hooked right in the tongue. You got a pierced tongue. Pop this guy off the hook. Right there. Feisty little fella. Get out of here. Go grow up. And good deal. He did not mess the worm up. Most of the time when I catch a fish on a night crawler, I'll put a new worm on, but that one looks just fine. Well, I hope all is well with my client, Rob. And if it is, Rob, you should have been here, man. I got 2 fish in about 2 minutes. It's looking like it's going to be an amazing day on the water. So anyway, hope all is well, but I wish you were here. As I was saying when I was fighting that fish, one of the big benefits of using lead core, and there are many benefits to using it. First of all, to fish in the top 20-25 feet of the water column, lead core will almost always outfish a downrigger. That's why I'm such a fan of the hybrid lead core rig. It's a rig that I perfected, and it just flat out works. The simplicity, the effectiveness, but also your ability to manipulate soft baits, night crawlers, and things like that when you have a strike. Now, let's pretend we're fishing a soft plastic, or better yet, a night crawler. You keep your eye on your rods, but when you get that little hit, that little tap, or maybe a tap, you just slide that rod out of the holder, just nice and smooth. Move it forward, speed the bait up a little bit, ease it back, slow the bait down a little bit, move it forward, ease it back, and you're gonna feel a tap or a tap. That tells you the fish is back. When you feel that, just give that fish complete slack. Let the boat bring the line tight, and 9 times out of 10, especially if you're fishing a night crawler, when that line comes tight, it's gonna be fish on, because they're messing with the bait, they're a little lethargic, and when they come in and they grab it and that line goes slack, that bait crowds right up into their mouth, they suck it in, fish on, end of story. You can't do that with a downrigger. You can do that with my hybrid lead core rig, and I can't tell you how many bonus fish that catches me throughout the course of the season. That ability to do fine manipulation of the bait is absolutely critical to drawing strikes when the fish aren't, red hot and willing to chase. When they're a little inactive, they're willing to come in, take a look, nip at the bait. Well, then a little manipulation can absolutely close the deal. And we got a fish. We got a fish on the Trout Tricks minnow right there. Quick as can be. I saw a fish jumping behind the boat, and I said, well, perhaps, maybe, possibly, that fish is on my rod. And guess what? He was. But we'll crank this guy, and he didn't look very big. He looked smaller than the first fish, but bigger than the last fish. So I guess that makes this a medium-sized fish. Oh, he's fighting now. Oh, he's giving me some tussle now. Oh, boy. They are active. This sunshine is apparently really spiking this bite because they're feeling frisky. That's 3 hookups, I'm going to say, in 10 minutes, guys. That's pretty darn good trout fishing. I don't care where you are or when it is. And I was expecting things to be tough today, but so far, not so tough. Oh, get down there. When they want to jump, low rod, keep them below the surface. Very important. Now, he's doing everything he can to get over by that other line, but I'm not letting that happen. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. A little high stick action. Pan-sized rainbow right there. We'll shake him off and get him on his way. Oh, he's strong. He just feels like a muscle in my hand. There we go. Woo! I love it. Whoa. The prototype is doing strong work so far. Nightcrawler 1, prototype 2. The minnows just got whacked. I think that fish was hooked a little bit. So whenever that happens, there's probably nothing wrong with the bait. It's probably in fine condition. But whenever you get hit and you think the fish is hooked and you don't get them, it's always a good idea to reel in, check the bait, make sure everything looks good. Even if you're using a spoon, you know, sometimes camera was on an angle, it looked like I was gonna fall out of the boat. even when you're fishing a spoon, you never know. You know, they get hooked, they shake it, maybe it flipped up and hooked on the leader or something like that. Maybe the hook is just messed up. So always pace, take a second, reel it in, make sure you're fishing with an effective bait. And in this case, that bait is absolutely 100% fine. I am gonna move that disc just a hair closer, and I'm gonna take the opportunity to put a little more scent on it. But it always pays to be sure. I haven't been out here very long. I've landed 3 rainbows. I've lost 1. So, you know, should I leave this area and, you know, go down by the dam or go way over there? No. When you're catching fish, you want to stay in that area. You want to cut the lake down to size. The smaller the area you can work where you're getting hit, the better off you are. You never know when the bite is going to stop. So you want to catch as many fish as you can, as fast as you can, and you do that by once you find fish, working that area intensively. I kind of made a big circle here, and I'm going right back in the area where I hooked the first fish. And I'm going to continue to work this circle until the fish stop biting. I may not leave this area all morning. If this was a guide trip, I might not leave this area all day long, because I know there's fish here. I know what they're willing to hit. I know they're hitting. So why would I leave? Why would I go anywhere? Remember, at most of these foothill lakes where you're dealing with planted trout, the most effective way to catch a really big trout is to catch a lot of trout. And you catch a lot of trout by finding the fish, staying on them, and continuing to work that area where the fish are feeding.